The CALLERLAB has done has largely been through the effort of those willing to carry the load, and the current load carriers are the folks you just applauded. Our next presentation is a special one from the Lloyd, representing the Lloyd Shaw Foundation. I'm pleased to introduce Bob Reeves. He's the chairman of the Committee for Community and Traditional Dance, and is also representing the Lloyd Shaw Foundation at this convention.
Good evening, everyone. As a representative of the Lloyd Shaw Foundation, we're here this evening to make a special donation. The Lloyd Shaw Foundation is pleased to announce that we are presenting the first payment of royalties from the sale of the Bob Osgood Memorial DVD of the Sets in Order magazine archive. We are especially happy to return this dividend to CALLERLAB, since it has been so instrumental in placing this valuable resource in the hands of those that most appreciate it. We are presenting this first royalty check for $400 to CALLERLAB for specifically to be designated for the Bob Osgood Memorial Scholarship Fund, which is newly established, I believe, by this donation. There's a note, this I'm reading from Bob Tomlinson, who is the president of the Lloyd Shaw Foundation, who sent it to us and asked us to present it. The daughters of Bob Osgood, Wendy Hubenthal and Linda Anderson, indicated that these funds are to be designated to the CALLERLAB's Bob Osgood Memorial Scholarship Fund. We are grateful to everyone that has had a hand in the success of this venture. A special note from Linda ended basically with the comment, "Dad would be tickled to know that his legacy is paying forward to future generations of callers." For those of you who are unaware, you can get from the home office sales table this disc of the DVD that contains 444 issues of Sets in Order from 1948 to 1985, in color, searchable. Everyone ought to have a copy of it, and it will be further donations to this cause. So, CALLERLAB, here's a check for $400 to start this scholarship fund.
Thank you, Bob. And let me add to his comments that the collection of information in those magazines and the ability to search it with Adobe is an absolutely mind-boggling addition to historical awareness. It's possible to find in a matter of a few minutes. The first time we mentioned anything, all the names you ever heard of, it's just a fascinating process to weave through the history that's contained on that DVD, and it's easy to do with DVD. It's a great accomplishment. Barry Clasper is from Ontario, Canada. Most of you are aware of that. He will be introducing tonight's recipients of the Board of Governors Service Awards. Barry started calling in 1984, joined CALLERLAB in 1982, and this is his 50th convention. 1992. 84, he started calling, joined CALLERLAB in 1992. Did I not say that? 82, oh. The 82 convention was here. No, he didn't. It's absolutely right. I just read it wrong. This is his 50th convention, and Barry is currently serving as chairman of the Board of Governors.
If I move this, will it stand up?
Grab it, be sure.
The introduction that sorry, I'm tall. The introduction that Jim just gave me is actually longer than the award because we only have one retiring board member, which is what this award goes to. The Board of Governors Service Award is presented to retiring board members in recognition of their commitment to CALLERLAB, as demonstrated by the selfless sharing of their time, talent, and leadership skills. John Swindle began calling in 1968. I hope that date's right. He joined CALLERLAB in 1975, if that tracks, and attended his first CALLERLAB convention that same year. He has attended 21 CALLERLAB conventions and has served on the board since 2011. John was unable to attend this convention, so his plaque will be made. That's it.
And you have all applauded for John Swindle's contribution. Next, I'm pleased to introduce Michael France to make the Small World Awards. Michael is from Germany and started calling in 1999 and joined CALLERLAB in 2002. Michael received his Small World Award in 2012, and this is his second CALLERLAB convention. Michael is currently serving as president of the European Callers and Teachers Association, that we know as ECTA. Michael, where are you? Here he is. We're very pleased to have you with us, Michael.
Yeah, I hope this thing will stay there. Michael's tall, too. The Small World Award is presented to those scholars from outside the continental North America and Hawaii who are attending the CALLERLAB convention for the first time. Of the 134 current overseas members, 70 have attended a CALLERLAB convention in the US and received the Small World Award. Of those Small World recipients, 12 are attending again this year. Please stand up and be recognized as I call your name. Ulrich and Anne Brandt from Germany. First convention was 1990. Fifth convention is today. Walt Burr, Germany as well. First convention was 2008. Fifth convention today. Julie Burr, Germany. First convention was 2011. Fourth convention today. Don Kasper, also from Germany. First convention in 2001. 10th convention today. Trevor and Chris Day, not from Germany. First convention in 1999. 16th convention today. Masaura Hiraga from Japan. First convention in 2005. 9th convention today. Shozo and Miyoko Nishimura, Japan. First convention in 1997. 11th convention today. Naru Okumura, Japan. First convention was 2013. Second convention today. Takozaki, Japan. First convention was 1979. 12th convention today. Jeanette Steuble from Switzerland. First convention was 1994. 18th convention today. Motohiro and Reiko Yoshimura, Japan. First convention was 2012. Second convention today. And myself, Mike Kraus from Germany. My first convention was, as mentioned, 2012, and this is my second convention today. Attending this year for the very first time I'm pleased to present an additional Small World Award, and our recipient this year is Thomas Reiner from Japan. Please come up to the stage.
He knows it's coming. Dennis.
Dana told him.
Dennis.
I'm very honored to receive this plaque, and I just want to say I'm very thankful to how everyone has been so welcoming at this convention, and I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Sorry, Tom.
And a thank you to Michael. Our next award is for 25 years of calling. And to present those, we have Betsy Gott. Betsy started calling in 1962 and joined CALLERLAB in 1976. She serves on the Board of Governors, is chairman of the Caller Training Committee, and serves on a whole variety of other committees. This is Betsy's 40th CALLERLAB convention. Thank you.
I'm not as tall as the other guys. Quarter century certificates are awarded to CALLERLAB members who have been calling for 25 or more years. The first awards were made in Baltimore in 1986, and they have been awarded annually since then. Since 1986, a total of 1,433 CALLERLAB members have received a quarter century certificate. Of those, 716 are still active members, and 80 are present at this convention. Wow. Would those 80 and their partners please stand? And you may applaud now. 15 members attending this convention received their 25-year certificate by mail in the year they reached this milestone. This is the first convention we have the opportunity to honor them by name at a convention. Would these callers and their partners please stand and remain standing so that we may recognize this achievement. Please hold your applause until I have read all the names. Dave Brown, California, 45 years. Pat Carnathan, California, 33 years. Brian Clark, Canada, 26 years. Richard Lane, Oregon, 33 years. Don Mitchum, South Carolina, 45 years. Naaman Morehouse, Colorado, 38 years. Casey Parker, California, 39 years. Dan Creedy, Washington, 39 years. Glenn Reha, Washington, 38 years. James Rouse, Washington, 36 years. Jet Roberts, California, 43 years. Doug Saunders, California, 44 years. Bill Silver, California, 33 years. Turn the page. Rick Utter, Idaho, 28 years. And finally, Wayne Weaver, Oregon, 46 years. Please applaud Dallas. I will ask this year's recipients to come to the podium to receive their awards as I read their names. Thank you. Andy Shore, California.
What?
You're good.
Jim Loss, Maryland. Congratulations to both Andy and Jim on this achievement. Who were unable to attend this convention will celebrate their 25th anniversary of calling this year. Their certificates will be mailed by the home office following this convention. Thank you.
And thank you, Betsy. 25 years is big, 50 years is bigger. To recognize those who have reached that milestone, I am pleased to introduce Jack O'Leary. Jack started calling in 1961. He joined CALLERLAB in 1983 and attended his first convention that same year. Jack received his half-century award in 2011. And I have to add just a little side comment here. Jack was part of a group of kids that treated Al Brundage's Kohler School like summer camp. And there are a couple of them here now, but there were about 10, about Jack's age, and that was in the teens. And they made us old guys look silly. They'd stand up there and call just great, and we hated it. Jack, come on, make your presentation.
Half-century awards certificates are awarded to CALLERLAB members who have been calling for more than 50 years. The first awards were made in Baltimore in 1986 and have been awarded annually since then. A total of 167 CALLERLAB members have received the half-century certificate. Of the 80 current CALLERLAB members who have previously received this award, 15 are attending this year. Would these callers and their partners please stand and remain standing so that we may recognize this achievement? They are Ron Black, California; Calvin Campbell, Colorado; Wade Driver, Texas; Dennis Farrar, Arizona; Marshall Flippo, Arizona; Betsy Gata, New Jersey; John Jones, Texas; Bernie Kinney, California; Melton Dutrell, Texas; Jim Mayo, New Hampshire; Shozo Nishimura, Japan; Bob Pointer, Florida; Mike Seastrom, California; Roger Smith, California; and myself, 52 years. This group represents 902 years of calling. Give them a hand. Tonight I'm pleased to award a half-century certificate to 6 other callers who have reached this momentous milestone. Don Beck, Chilmark, Massachusetts, began calling in 1964.
Jack just asked me if I'd like to say a few words, and I had a simple answer: no. I remember, well, I don't know how many years ago, but being impressed when some people got their 25th year of calling thing, and then some people actually made it to 50. Never thought I would be here. But if you hang around long enough, you know, you got it made. Thank you very much.
Our next recipient, Randy Doherty, Mesa, Arizona.
the Academy, my parents, my kids, and my sister. Even though I'm sick and tired of hearing, are you related to Dee Dee? We like her calling. I don't know where the time went by. I thought Dana made a mistake because I thought I still had 2 more years left, but I forgot that my parents locked me in the basement for 2 years.
That answers a lot of questions. Our next recipient, Dave Harry, Linwood, Washington, began calling in 1963.
Good haircut.
It's a big deal. It's only 50 years. Let's talk about it at 100.
From Tokyo, Japan, Tak Ozaki began calling in 1964.
Yeah, it goes in there.
Can I get those glasses?
I think I have to thank my family and CALLERLAB, American dancers, Japanese dancers, Taiwanese dancers, specifically my wife. Thank you very much.
Tom Selner, Columbia, Maryland, began calling in 1964.
Answer it.
I have to thank, first of all, Martin Ackerman, who was the caller who had teenagers in his basement and taught us to dance with 2 squares. And then he let me pick up the microphone. And so here I am 50 years later. But I also want to thank all of you because I've been to CALLERLAB a lot. And I think that my calling is much better because of every one of you that I learned something from. And I also, many of you know that I lost my first wife in 90, and she was, basically she started dancing when she was 5 years old, long before I did. And then she did an awful lot of things. So I think she shares in this award today with me. And my present wife, I've remarried and for 10 years, and she puts up with me and lets me go to CALLERLAB. And right now she's in graduate school, so she said she'd like to come, but she couldn't. And I just say that we have such a great activity, but we've got, I just heard a quote the other day from one of the famous singers. His name is, because I'm up here, I can't, of course, say his name. And but he said that we can't change the past, but we do have the power to change the future, but we have to do it. Thank you.
From Tokyo, Japan, Naru Okamura, calling in 1964.
Thank you so much for the honorable 50 years Call Award today. I understand that all of the fantastic activities have been resulted from the great efforts of the forerunners of the CALLERLAB in legend, and the home office staff now run by Denner and Donna Schemmer and many other people behind the various scenes. I am very much honored to be a small part of it by continuing the square dancing calling for 50 years. Thanks.
Congratulations to all of these callers for achieving this milestone. There are 3 additional active CALLERLAB members who have earned their half-century award this year. Although they are unable to be with us, we would like to honor them by announcing that their certificates will be mailed to them immediately following this convention. They are Orvin Logan from Washington, Don Schatt from California, and Shioki Katsura from Japan. If you know any of these callers, please congratulate them the next time you see them. Thank you.
This concludes our presentations and awards, and I have to tell you that listening to the number of us who have been around for a very long time, I am continuing to be impressed beyond measure. It is a long-lasting, still thriving, wonderful activity, and we should all be proud to have been a part of it. And now our man in charge will come and make a few short announcements about tomorrow and the rest of the week.
Why don't we give a great big hand to Jim and Joanne Mayo for their time. If you've read your schedule, you know following this banquet, right next door in Rose B, will be Tom Miller and the after party and talent night. And it will start probably just as soon as we can get everybody over there and get the performers ready. So if you'd like to be here and go there when we're done with the convention, please do. Following that event, in the Bonanza room, to the left over here, the Bonanza ballroom, will be Daryl Clendenin and group performing a beautiful basic dance. And we hope you'll be able to join that. Phil Farmer will be doing emceeing a karaoke night tomorrow night. He has asked those people who are performing in karaoke to meet him at lunch in this corner over here tomorrow for lunch. Those who received awards and presentations tonight, we'd like to get your photos, so if you wouldn't mind meeting us at this corner tonight after the banquet. My wife wrote down this, I'm not sure what it means. But she says, group pictures on the side with presenters and award recipients. I think it's the same thing. So, anyway, group picture to be over here also. We thank you again. We hope you're enjoying the convention. If you're not, see my wife.